Mercedes has reportedly reversed its own ADUO strategy and will introduce a significant engine upgrade at Monza, specifically to counter Ferrari's planned second mid-season power unit update. As the 2026 Formula One season enters its crucial phase before the summer break, Ferrari is preparing what insiders are calling an engine game-changer, ADUO2, scheduled for the Italian Grand Prix in September. But will it be enough to shake up the standings? Ferrari's straight-line power deficit has been a persistent issue since the start of the season, thanks largely to the team choosing a smaller turbocharger to reduce launch lag. That design decision backfired when the FIA introduced a new 5-second pre-start procedure this year, effectively nullifying Ferrari's advantage and leaving them with weaker top-end performance. The ADUO2 upgrade involves a redesigned turbocharger with new blade angles, revised blade count, and materials designed to handle higher combustion temperatures. Combined with the earlier ADUO1 update 7/8, Ferrari aims for a total of roughly 30 horsepower. But will this be enough to catch up to Mercedes and Red Bull? It's like at school, good, but could do better. It is a step forward compared with 2025 because we are more competitive. Vasseur's own public comments about ADUO2 are notably conservative, even as Yahoo Sports and Motor Biscuit frame the upgrade as potentially season-defining for Ferrari. The team principal admits that while it will help, it won't completely close the gap to Mercedes and Red Bull. A persistent deficit of 1 or 2 tenths per lap remains. Mercedes' decision to introduce its upgraded power unit, M17E Performance, at Monza is seen as a strategic masterstroke born out of necessity. Antonelli and Russell will face 20-place grid penalties for bringing forward their engine allocation, but the move underscores how seriously rivals are taking Ferrari's ADUO2 threat. This all leads to one question: will Ferrari's ADUO2 turbocharger redesign be enough to shake up the championship standings? This question is at the heart of the 2026 championship battle. Ferrari's ADUO2 turbocharger redesign aims to address the straight-line power deficit that has plagued the SF26 since the start of the season, a problem exacerbated by the FIA's new 5-second pre-start procedure. The technical details behind ADUO2 are not just theoretical, they come from a single reliable source, Giuliano Duchessa of Autoracer. While Ferrari's own team principal Vasseur remains cautious about the upgrade's impact, Duchessa provides concrete insights into the turbocharger's new design, new blade angles and counts to improve performance without compromising reliability. When you look at Mercedes and Red Bull, we are talking about a difference of 1 or 2 tenths per lap from the engine. Vasseur's comments highlight the ongoing deficit Ferrari faces. Even with ADUO2 in place, they won't fully close this gap to their rivals. Yet any improvement could be significant on circuits like Monza, where straight-line speed is crucial. Mercedes' response further underscores the importance of Monza for both teams. Antonelli and Russell will face grid penalties but gain a competitive edge with fresh engines, emphasizing how Ferrari's ADUO2 has forced rivals to adapt their strategies mid-season. Ferrari's overall progress since last year is undeniable. They are more competitive this season compared to 2025. However, the current deficit remains a critical issue, especially as the championship enters its decisive phase. Reliability will also play a key role in Monza's outcome. The redesigned turbocharger must deliver consistent performance under race conditions without breaking down. Reliability issues could undo any gains made by ADUO2. Ferrari has another upgrade planned for Zandvoort, focusing on aerodynamics to complement the engine improvements at Monza. While these upgrades have different targets and timing, they both aim to boost Ferrari's competitiveness heading into the final races of the season. Despite the challenges, Vasseur remains optimistic about ADUO2's potential impact. Completely catch Mercedes? I would say no. It will help, that is certain. The upgrade will likely bring a noticeable improvement for Ferrari, but won't completely level the playing field. The question remains, how much of an edge will this give Ferrari in the final stretch? With rivals and fans alike watching closely, Monza will serve as a crucial test for Ferrari's mid-season push. The results there could shape the rest of the championship battle. The stakes are high, and every detail counts. Will ADUO2 be enough to propel Ferrari forward, or will it fall short in the face of intense competition from Mercedes and Red Bull? This uncertainty sets the stage for an exciting showdown at Monza. The race promises to reveal whether Ferrari's strategic move was a game changer or just another step in a long road to recovery. As the 2026 season continues, all eyes will be on Monza to see if Ferrari's ADUO2 can deliver the breakthrough performance needed to close the gap to their rivals. Mercedes' move to introduce its own upgraded power unit at Monza is seen as a defensive play against Ferrari's ADUO2, even though it comes with significant downsides for the team. Antonelli and Russell will face steep penalties, starting from the back of the grid, but they are willing to take this risk. Both drivers have already exhausted their engine allocations for the season, making Mercedes' decision a last-ditch effort to improve their chances in the final races. So what does Ferrari's ADUO2 really mean? Is it as game-changing as some reports suggest? Vasseur knows that while ADUO2 is crucial, it won't single-handedly close the gap to Mercedes and Red Bull. His comments reveal a cautious optimism. It will help, he said, but it's not enough to completely catch up. The turbocharger redesign for ADUO2 aims to solve Ferrari's straight-line power deficit by improving top-end performance, but reliability remains a concern. Vasseur frames the upgrade as an important step forward from last season. Good, but could do better. So where does that leave us right now? The race at Monza is critical for both teams, Ferrari hoping to gain crucial ground and Mercedes trying to counteract it. Mercedes' response suggests they view ADUO2 as a serious threat. But will the actual performance gains live up to the hype? Remember how this all started with Ferrari's decision to prioritize cornering over straight-line power? Now, that same choice is being revisited in light of the FIA's new pre-start procedure. The turbo redesign for ADUO2 targets a combined gain of roughly 30 horsepower from both upgrades, but Vasseur's public comments suggest this may still leave Ferrari lagging behind their rivals by 1 or 2 tenths per lap. So, while Ferrari aims to narrow the gap with ADUO2, Mercedes is making its own strategic move to stay ahead. Vasseur says it best: completely catch Mercedes? It will help, that is certain. He's setting realistic expectations for what this upgrade can achieve. So how does this affect the championship race? Ferrari needs every bit of performance they can get if they want to compete with Red Bull and Mercedes in the final stretch. Mercedes' strategy underscores just how critical ADUO2 might be, forcing them to play a risky game by bringing forward their own upgrade early. So, will Ferrari's ADUO2 truly turn the tables at Monza, or is it simply another step in an ongoing battle for engine supremacy? Vasseur's cautious tone points towards something more nuanced than outright dominance, but don't underestimate the significance of this move. Mercedes' decision to counter with their own upgrade shows just how much ADUO2 is expected to matter. So what's at stake? The championship itself and Ferrari's reputation as a top-tier team in F1. Vasseur says it's a step forward, but the real test will come when these upgrades hit the track. Will they deliver the performance needed for Ferrari to stay competitive? Ferrari's ADUO2 aims to address the straight-line deficit, but will it be enough? And can Mercedes' counter-move hold off Ferrari's push? Vasseur sees this as a necessary step. When you look at Mercedes and Red Bull, we are talking about a difference of 1 or 2 tenths per lap from the engine. So how much closer does this get them to closing that gap? Ferrari hopes ADUO2 will bridge some of that performance divide, but Vasseur's comments make it clear they're not expecting miracles. Mercedes' response highlights just how serious this challenge is for both teams. So, while Ferrari looks to improve with their mid-season upgrade, Mercedes counters with a bold move, bringing forward an engine allocation already used up by the season's halfway mark. Both strategies reflect the high stakes of this battle as they head into Monza and the crucial final races ahead. Ferrari needs every advantage if they want to catch up with Red Bull and Mercedes. Vasseur sees ADUO2 as a step in the right direction, but also acknowledges it won't close the gap entirely. The upgrade is expected to help but not fix everything. Mercedes' move shows just how much pressure this puts on Ferrari's strategy, forcing them to take calculated risks with their engine upgrades. So, what does it all mean for Monza? The race will be a showdown of these two strategies, Ferrari aiming to boost performance and Mercedes trying to stay ahead by any means necessary. Vasseur's comments reveal the complexities at play here. While ADUO2 is designed to improve straight-line speed, the real question remains whether it can match up against what Red Bull and Mercedes have been doing all season long. Vasseur's conservative approach reflects a realistic view of Ferrari's capabilities versus their rivals, even as they push forward with this critical upgrade. Mercedes' response shows just how seriously they're taking the potential impact of ADUO2. So, while Ferrari hopes to gain traction at Monza, Mercedes is ready to counteract that progress by any means necessary. The championship race will hinge on these upgrades and strategies as both teams push for every possible advantage in the final stretch. Ferrari's ADUO2 aims to bridge some of their performance gap, but Vasseur's public comments suggest they're not expecting a complete turnaround just yet. Mercedes' countermove shows they see this upgrade as potentially game-changing for Ferrari, pushing them to respond with equal urgency. So, while both teams are taking significant risks, the real question is whether these strategies will pay off on race day at Monza and beyond. Fred Vasseur's cautious optimism sums it up: completely catch Mercedes? It will help, that is certain. The race for engine supremacy continues, with Ferrari looking to make crucial gains while Mercedes counters with their own bold move. So, how much closer does ADUO2 get them to closing the gap? Ferrari's upgrade aims to improve performance in a critical area, but even Vasseur acknowledges it won't be enough on its own. Mercedes' response shows just how seriously they view this threat from Ferrari. So, as both teams head into Monza, will ADUO2 prove decisive in the championship battle? Vasseur sees it as an important step forward, but he's careful to set realistic expectations for what ADUO2 can deliver. Mercedes' move underscores just how critical this upgrade is for Ferrari. The race at Monza will be a showdown of these competing strategies. Ferrari hopes ADUO2 will make the difference, but they're prepared to face challenges from Mercedes and Red Bull. Mercedes' decision shows just how seriously they view this upgrade, forcing them to take significant risks in response. So, while both teams are taking bold steps, the real test is yet to come. Will these strategies pay off on race day? Vasseur's comments reflect a nuanced approach: good, but could do better. The upgrade aims to improve performance, but it won't be enough by itself. Mercedes' response highlights just how much pressure this puts on Ferrari, forcing them to take calculated risks with their engine upgrades. So as Monza approaches, the race for engine supremacy intensifies. Ferrari hopes ADUO2 will make a significant impact, while Mercedes counters with their own bold move. Vasseur's public comments reveal the complexities at play. Completely catch Mercedes? So how much closer does this get them to closing the gap? Mercedes' strategy underscores just how serious Ferrari's ADUO2 threat is, forcing them to respond with equal urgency. So what does it all mean for Monza and beyond? Ferrari aims to boost performance with their upgrade, but Vasseur acknowledges they're not expecting a complete turnaround. Mercedes counters with significant risks of their own, showing just how seriously they view Ferrari's move. The championship race will hinge on these competing strategies, as both teams push for every possible advantage in the final stretch. Ferrari hopes ADUO2 will make a decisive impact at Monza and beyond, but Vasseur's public comments set realistic expectations. Completely catch Mercedes? I would say no. Both teams are taking bold steps, but facing significant challenges in execution and reliability. Vasseur's cautious optimism reflects a nuanced approach. Completely catch Mercedes? Mercedes' decision to bring forward their upgrade shows just how seriously they view ADUO2 as a game-changing threat for Ferrari. So, where does this leave the championship battle heading into Monza? Ferrari hopes to make crucial gains with their mid-season upgrade, but Vasseur's public comments suggest realistic expectations. Completely catch Mercedes?